Hey everyone, a nerd named Mark here with episode 76 of a Nerd Named Mark podcast. It's me, it's Mark, your host. And yeah, it's hot here. I'm just, I'm tired, honestly. I'm about to get my second dose of my vaccine tomorrow, which is finally today when this is going to go live. A lot going on, work and this and that, but I got some time off to just in case I get symptoms. Plus, I had some sick time, and my work is paying me for getting my vaccination. So I was like, okay, I got a 4-day weekend coming up because I don't work weekends. And at the time I record this, it's Cinco de Mayo. Happy Cinco de Mayo. And hopefully everyone's being responsible and safe and not, being douches in public, drunk. Um, a lot of stuff to talk about in this episode. I have two main topics, like a minor one and a large one. The minor one's going to be me talking about Pokemon Snap because I finished it already, even though it just came out on Friday. So I finished it within like 3 days of it coming out. Actually didn't put as much time as I thought. Oh, people are honking their horn. Yay. So I wanted to talk about that briefly, like, the good, the positives, the negatives, but I'm going to flesh that out fully into a full review episode for Nerd Named Mark Reviews and also to put on YouTube. So if you haven't subscribed to that RSS feed already, just go into wherever you listen to podcasts, type in a Nerd Named Mark Reviews or Nerd Named Mark. You'll see this podcast and you'll see the review podcast RSS feed. Subscribe to that. It's a lot of TV show, movie reviews. I'm going to start putting some video game audio reviews up on there too. As of right now, I'm really behind on a lot of my reviews. I have my list in front of me of things I'm working on because I keep track of everything in Google Docs, and I have to still do my Falcon and Winter Soldier season review. I am behind on one episode of Superman and Lois, even though that's on hiatus. I still have episode 8 of Power Rangers Dino Fury. I'm behind on my Zenkaiser reviews. There's some movies I watched and stuff like that I just want to review, like Mortal Kombat and everything else. Like I briefly touched on it, but I didn't do the full review yet. So there's just a lot I have to do. There's like on my list. Luckily, with the 4 days off, I'm going to be just digging away and getting myself out of this hole that I'm in of content. Luckily, it's stuff I want to do, so it's not like I'm forcing myself to get this stuff done. I actually want to review these things, so it doesn't feel like I'm forcing myself to do it. I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm gonna have fun. So, and that's all that's important, honestly. And let's see. So, right off the bat, I already said I beat Pokemon Snap, so I might as well just go into video games. Obviously, I've been playing a lot of Pokemon Snap and Bravely Default 2. I'm kind of stretching myself thin with video games right now because Resident Evil 8, The Village is coming out on Friday. I cannot, or it's out today actually. I think it came out today. I'm not gonna pick it up probably till Friday. Play it over the weekend. But between Bravely Default 2, I'm glad I beat Pokemon Snap, but it's like a double-edged sword. Like I'm glad I beat it because I've really, it was good story, visually appealing, but at the same time, kind of short. But now I can focus on Bravely Default 2. And at the same time, after months, actually more like a year plus of hunting it down, I finally found a physical copy of Octopath Traveler. And it wasn't full price, so I was really happy about that because I was playing it because it was on Game Pass, but I really wanted a physical copy for the Switch. And I found one, so I actually started playing it on the Switch because I really enjoyed what I did play of it on Xbox, and I was just like, I really want to be able to play this on the go when I'm lounging in bed or, on my way to work or on my lunch breaks. So I'm glad I found that. And that's really it for games. Like, not a lot being played right now, but technically, because they're JRPGs, they do take a lot of time, and it's nice filling the void of wanting to play games, but there's nothing really like I need right now coming out besides Resident Evil. So I was like, okay, these are great, space fillers that are still really good games to play. And I that's it for games. So now it's comic books. And from a comic book standpoint, I'm behind too. I'm behind on everything, honestly, when you think about it. So I got a lot of back issues. I had obviously new comics came out today. obviously I'm not at the store right now because I'm recording. So I'm gonna go over my back issues I picked up. So right off the bat, I got my X-Men 19. Hickman is still doing a good job. I haven't given up on X-Men yet, even though I gave up on all the side ones like Marauders and Excalibur and New Mutants. I just couldn't get into them post House and Powers of X. So I was like, just sticking with Hickman's run. Higgins is still killing it with the Trials of Ultraman number 2. Such a delicious comic book. I love my Toku. Another one, surprising me, the quality is still Miles Morales Spider-Man. We're about to get into the Clone Saga, and that's gonna be such a good story arc. Like, I'm excited for that to drop. And now it's time. It's been a while since I've done this. It's time for some Donny Cates. That's right, crossover number. Oh, I hit my mic stand. Crossover number 5. And then the finale of the Prey story arc from Thor with Thor number 14. I'm really digging Thor. I think this is, I mean, Thor has always had either, like, it's been polarizing. It's been either really good writing or meh. And right now, Thor, since Donny Cates has been writing it, has been so good. I'm actually enjoying Thor. And then, obviously, I got my Power Ranger back issues. So we got Power Rangers number 5 and Power Rangers number 6. And then we got Mighty Morphin number 6. And obviously, I like my Power Rangers and Mighty Morphin because they are connectable covers. I'm trying to line them up on camera. There we go. I love my connecting covers. Then I actually got Power Rangers Unlimited number 1, The Heir to Darkness. And last but not least, this was on my list. I completely forgot it was a thing. IDW brought back Godzilla, so I got my Godzilla number 1, which is Rise Up Part 1. I'm curious to see how the Godzilla comic, like, it's really good for, like, anyone who likes Toku and Sentai and Power, because we got Power Rangers, we got Ultraman, we got Godzilla, we got Radiant Black. Like, it's a good time if you like Toku stuff and comic books, because now the proverbial gap and bridge has been built between the two. Because yes, there are Kamen Rider mangas and this and that, and Ultraman manga, but like from a comic book standpoint, not really a thing. Now it is, and I'm happy. I couldn't be more excited for comic book collecting right now. Even though I'm not going out of my way to get everything like day one, my shop holds everything for me because I have what they call subscription. So it's a nice little sheet front and back of all the major publishers and minor publishers, and you get to check off which ones you want from the franchises, or you can write stuff in as well, and that's what I've been doing. So they have my form, and every once in a while they're like, hey, this new thing just dropped, we put number 1 in there because it's similar to what you're pulling, do you want it? And I'll be like, I'll check out number 1, and if it's something I like, I'll add it to list. That's why I have a Radiant Black. I didn't know it was, like, I saw Higgins tweeting about it in the Instagram post, and I didn't even know when it was coming out. My shop, luckily enough, set aside up issue 1 for me, and they were like, hey, you like Power Rangers, you like Higgins, we put it in there for you, just, let us know what you think. So I read one, and next time I went, I was like, yeah, put it on my list. It's how, like, the Hickman stuff or Donny Cates would cross over. Like, they know my writers based on what's on my list, and if one of my favorite writers has something new come out, they'll set it aside for me. I was like, oh, that's nice of them. That's polite. And that's how I find a lot of new comics or new runs of comics that were known about that I don't know is coming out, because I don't follow a lot of comic book news, honestly. Ooh, own a coffee. So good. So good. Keeps me going at 7:36 a.m. while I record this before I go to work. Let's see. So yeah, that's it for comics and games. From movies and TV shows, I'm so I don't know how to word it. As of right now, after Falcon and Winter Soldier and this and that, I was like, what's new coming out? Because, like, I was burnt out on comic book movies, but after WandaVision and then, Falcon and Winter Soldier, it kind of like rejuvenated me. Like, now I'm excited. Like, I want to see Black Widow. I want to see Doctor Strange. I want to see Venom. I want to see Spider Man. I want to see, all these films. And I'm back into like, I want comic book movies. But from just the day to day watching, I haven't really like been watching anything, honestly. Uh, if I do, it's just something on in the background while I play video games, or I'll rewatch shows I've already seen. I've been watching like a lot of like my horror films. That's like my go-to. If like there's nothing new on TV, shows or movies out, I'm just gonna go back to the classics. Like we started watching the Alien franchise again last night, and you know, Godzilla vs Kong is now officially off HBO Max, so I can't rewatch that again. Mortal Kombat, I watched that a second time just to like refresh everything while I took notes for my review, which is gonna go up eventually. And yeah, so I was like, there's nothing really, out that I'm watching. Like, I'm still watching my tokusatsu stuff, so that does take a lot of time also. So I finished Kamen Rider Zero One, and now I'm starting Kamen Rider Zio because I never finished it. And yeah, that's really it for stuff I'm watching. Like, it's not. I don't know what to say. It's just I'm watching stuff, but it's not really drastic of what I'm watching. So yes, in a roundabout way, I'm just gonna go right into like the first main topic, the smaller morsel of content. And I feel bad because like this is gonna be a short episode. Like I don't usually watch the clock, so to speak. I just kind of have my bullet points, talk about everything, and then when I'm done talking and have nothing else to say, that's usually when the episode's over. It's, I don't like to ramble, but I'm like, oh man, it's like 12 minutes in. That's it. Um, yeah. So Pokemon Snap. Wow. First off, Bandai, Namco, this game, they did Pokken tournament or Pokken tournament, depending on how you want to enunciate it. There's 2Ks, so I call it Pokken. And visually appealing, probably one of the best looking Pokemon games when you think about it. And then there's Pokemon Snap. This game, environment, this and that, everything looks so good. Like the water detail, the environments, the Pokemon themselves, so good. And that's what kept me playing it and hooked into it and not realizing how much time I was actually spending playing it. Because like I looked, and altogether I beat the game. I put about 18 hours into it, and that's with replaying because it's really grindy. You have to replay a lot of levels to raise your research level for that specific level, which will then unlock more Pokemon, more ways they interact with each other, so you can take more photos to raise your level and finish the photo decks. Because everything is scaled on a 1 to 4 star rating. So for each Pokemon, you want to get a 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, and a 4 star photo. And then there's different. There's a bronze, silver, gold, and there's like the platinum shiny star for like the perfect photo for that rating. So I finished a lot of the photo decks, a lot of gold and platinum stars. There are some. I have some silvers and bronze in there that I have to go back through and try and get a better shot. And how it's graded is on centering of the Pokemon, size of the Pokemon, the pose, if there's other Pokemon in the background, this and that. So going back through to like 100% the game, which for me is every star is the platinum star for all 4 photos. Then getting all the legendaries because every stage basically has a legendary when you finish the game, or not even finishing it, just like certain conditions raising the level of your research level of that stage. So there's things like Muse in there, Celebi. There's so many, and I was like, I gotta go through. I gotta do this. Like Lugia's in there. Like I was like, I gotta get all these legendaries. So when I say I beat the game, I beat the story. I have not 100% this game. I will, and it's something that's easy to pick up and play. So I'll probably chip away at it, here and there. Maybe a couple days a week. I'll spend a couple hours a week just playing it, chipping away at it. I'm hoping in the long term, in the interim, I feel like there might be DLC. I don't know. They could easily do DLC for this, like new worlds, another story. When you look at Pokemon games in general, they never really had DLC before. I mean, Pocket Tournament had Pokemon that but that's a fighting game, so it's a special circumstance. But it really wasn't until Sword and Shield that there was like DLC and expansions for a Pokemon game. Before it was like, get Diamond and Pearl. Now there's Emerald, which is like the third game, but it's really just a hybrid of the two with new Pokemon and special stuff, or Black and White 2. Like there's never been a full fledged, Pokemon. DLC wasn't really a thing until Sword and Shield. So I could see this game getting DLC. They haven't said anything about it, but I could see it. It could happen. You never know. So, um, yeah, just finishing it. All right, there's an ambulance going by. So just finishing the game, like I knew it tells you when you're about to finish it. It's like, are you ready for the final frontier? Are you ready? This is your final mission. You're gonna do, and I'm just like, already? Like, are you sure? Because that seems a bit much. Like, I feel like we just started our journey, but realistically, I think there was like, if you count daytime and nighttime as two separate levels, which I do because there is a wide difference of Pokemon that appear, there's probably a good like 12, 12 levels, maybe 14. I don't have it in front of me to fully check, but yeah, there's a good amount, and it's not bad. Like I'm trying, like there's a lot I want to say in my review. Like I have notes, and it's gonna be drawn out, but I just feel like at the price point of $60, it's not worth 60. It will be if you're a die-hard Pokemon fan and you don't play a lot of other games and you just play your Pokemon and you love your Pokemon, and then like you're gonna get your money's worth out of this. Like I don't feel like I got my money's worth from how much time I spent and being done already. And now I'm like, okay, well now I'll just chip away at it. But like if you're, and I love Pokemon, I'm a huge Pokemon fan. Just I think if it had like maybe a $39, 39.99 price point, $40, it's good. Um, I'm just from what was presented from an overall scale of things, not worth it. I think if there was more worlds, more story to it, more Pokemon, like some of the things are missing from the N64 one that had charm to it, like going in the volcano level, throwing an apple, hitting Charmeleon, he falls in the volcano, comes out, he's Charizard. There's no forced evolutions or any evolutions at all that happen in this game, and that's one of the main things. Like in N64, I loved. That was so cool to see the evolutions. Now it's just like, oh, they're there already. Like I at one of those stages, the jungle one, I eventually I leveled it up and I saw a Venusaur. I was like, oh, that's cool. I was like, this would have been cool to like see maybe like some other Pokemon attacking an Ivysaur, and then he starts glowing and evolves into a Venusaur, and then the other Pokemon scurries away and he chases after it. Like stuff like that would have been cool because there are interactions like that. There's one where a Wobble is being harassed by an Arbok, and if you hit the Arbok with a apple, he'll go away, and then the little Wobbit thing will be so happy and be like, "Yay, you saved me!" Like stuff like that. The interactions so cool. Like there's one where a Scorbunny is sleeping on the back of a Pokemon, and then there's ones where there's a Pichu and a Grookey just asleep in front of one also, and I'm like, okay, stuff like that, so cool. I enjoy that, but I needed more. I needed more interaction. Like, and also the Pokemon don't make their Pokemon noises. They sound more like animals, which is cool from a realistic standpoint. Because let's face it, animals don't. You don't go to the zoo and the giraffe is like giraffe, 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 or the rhino's like rhino, rhino. Like, but that was one of the main appeal of Pokemon, and like the uniqueness was they say their name. I don't get to see that. I don't get a Pikachu being like Pika Pika. Like I don't get any of that, and that kind of like that just stung a little bit. I was just like, did they purpose, like I was just like, why can't you can't give me those effects? But that's nitpicking, honestly, when you think about it. And I don't want to nitpick. I still enjoyed the game. I had fun playing it. I'm still gonna keep playing it. Yeah, look forward to a full-fledged, fleshed out review with spoilers, wow, I can't talk today. Story spoilers and everything else about what's going on in the game. I'm gonna be working on that over the weekend. My thing with reviews and spoiling things is like I try and wait a week because I don't want to intentionally or unintentionally, accidentally, someone not paying attention get a spoiler from me. I feel bad about spoilers. I go on my soapbox about spoilers all the time. I'm not gonna do that again. I just don't want to spoil anything. And yeah, so that's it for Pokemon Snap. Like I said, I'll have a full review, a video and audio version up probably the beginning of next week, maybe even Sunday, depending on if I get it done Friday or Saturday. I have other content I need to work on first. I'm trying to go chronologically with my reviews, and I don't really care to kind of take advantage of the fact that Pokemon Snap is trending. Like, yeah, the SEO side of things, I'd probably get more hits and clicks on it, but honestly, I want to stay in chronological order, and I don't want to feel like I have to rush anything. With that being said, let's go to the main topic. Now, I didn't even hint at what the main topic was. And this was an accidental main topic because I don't talk about drama. I don't talk about any of that stuff. I kind of keep my nose clean in a sense of I don't care. Even if I get dragged into drama, I avoid it. I don't care. I'm an adult. I'm 35 years old. I You couldn't tell by looking behind me because of all the toys and collectibles, but hey, 35 years old. I'm a freaking adult. I don't have time to waste my energy on drama and stupid crap. Just that's why, you know, I'm just, I just stay in my lane. Just leave me be. I have friends who are content creators, whether they're streamers, YouTubers, podcasters, journalists. Like, I have a lot of friends in different pockets and forms of media of content creating. And we have a Discord, we talk and this and that. And as you know, I haven't been streaming on Twitch. It's been a couple months. And we were having a discussion while we were playing some Outriders, and they were discussing the whole hot tub meta from Twitch. And one of them made the assumption that the reason why I stopped streaming on Twitch is because of stuff like that. And I was like, that's a common misconception. Like, I'm like, oh, it just seems like it because your Twitter tweets you like and this and that. And I'm like, well, just because I agree with someone's opinion doesn't mean that like I live by that opinion. So it's almost like I want to talk about the hot tub. I want to talk about Twitch in general and live streaming in general and content creating in general, because none of that stuff actually affected why I've shifted my focus. What happened was I wasn't working last year. I had no work for basically the whole entire year, maybe like 9 to 10 months. And, you know, after the mixer situation, I didn't stream. I just focused on my podcast and played my games by myself and just, stuck in my own little bubble, as many people did, which is understandable. We're in a freaking pandemic and a quarantine and stay at home orders. Like, why would I, of course I'm going to just kind of isolate myself, And then, in October, I came back to Twitch after a couple of years of not streaming on Twitch because I was on Mixer and Facebook Gaming. And yes, I did make affiliate in a month. It was like 6 weeks. So it was a month and like a couple days, a month and like a week or so. And, it was fun. I was streaming. I had free time to stream and stick to a schedule. And I was playing a lot of games. And the whole entire time, when anyone asks, I always said, my main focus is my podcast and then going back to work. Streaming is fun. It's a hobby. I do it when I can or when I feel like it. And because the main thing with being a content creator, if you start forcing yourself to be a content creator, to create your content, make your YouTube videos, make your podcast, you're forcing yourself to stream, it comes across on camera. It comes across in the tone of your voice, your body language, that you don't want to do this. And people are going to pick up on that. Like, I've seen friends of mine who were just like, I want to do this, but I got to stream today. I said I was going to stream and it's my stream schedule. And it's like, take a day off. Like, no, I want to stick to it. I'm trying to get affiliate, or, I want to be a partner. So I got to put in the work. It's like, yes, you have to put in the work, but you have to enjoy it. If you're going to try and reach these goals and these pinnacles, all these milestones, but you're forcing yourself to do it, and your passion is waning, and that flame is going out, and you're just tired and burnt out, and you don't want to do it, take a break. No one is forcing you to create content. Look at me with my podcast. I took a break for like a month, and because I was looking back at it, and yes, there was a time during the pandemic where being stuck at home all day and this and that was draining me. It was affecting me mentally, physically. I was putting on weight. I even did the whole entire episode where I was like getting back into being healthy and, going over everything I was doing to, get my mind and my body back on track and healthy, weight loss and just, cleaning up my eating habits, getting some cardio in and working out, and how it made me feel better. And, so we were talking about Twitch, and then they got into, well, it just sucks right now because it's hot tub meta and this and that. And so I was like, wait, what? Like, I don't follow a lot of like crap. Like, it's not crap. When I say crap, I don't mean like it in a connotation of like this is garbage. I hate it. I say crap isn't just a general term. Like, oh yeah, no, it's crap. I just follow, stuff, things and stuff. So they're bringing it up and they explained it to me and this and that. So I go on Twitch and I'm looking and I'm like, oh, I've seen these pop up before on like Just Chatting or IRL where they're, sitting in a hot tub and just chatting. I'm like, okay, like, sure, do what you want. Does that affect me? No. And then I told him, I was like, and this got like really heated, mind you, because I was just like, so you're telling me you don't want to stream on Twitch because of the hot tub stream? So like, no, well, it's tough because like I'm going on there and I'm putting in the work. I have a nice setup. I got the overlay, I got the hood camera. By the way, whatever I do someone else's voice that's not me, that's how they sound in my head. Like, I mean, they may not sound like it at all, but that's just like the voice that comes to my head whenever I want to quote other people. And they're like, I got my setup, I got this and that, like I spent all this money, and I go on there and it's like 2 or 3 people pop in because these girls got like 10, 20,000 people just watching them chill in a hot tub. And I'm like, well, for starters, I was like, those people who are in there are in there. Like, I'm sorry, if you go on Twitch and you're browsing, you're like, I don't know what I want to watch, or maybe I want to watch some games IRL. But if you go on Twitch and you just see that as the recommended, or you click on Just Chatting, you're like, there's categories for a reason. So if someone's clicking on Just Chatting, guess what? They're specifically looking for a Just Chatting stream. Like, I was like, if you're streaming, Minecraft, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna go on there and just be like, okay, let me just hit browse. I want to watch Minecraft, and I'm gonna click on Minecraft. Like, that's not the case because I don't like Minecraft. But I'm just saying, like, people are going to show up to the categories they want to go to. Never once do I go, anytime I'm on Twitch now, I'm just going and watching people who I follow or I subscribe to. And that's it. I think last night was the first time I went on browse for the longest time. And I was like, oh, let me see what this is about. And I hit Just Chatting and I was like, oh, okay. But I was like, I've never clicked on Just Chatting. Like, I'm sorry. Like, most people who I find their streams are usually through Twitter. Like, if I'm already following someone or mutuals or that, like, hey, I'm going live with Resident Evil 5 because I want to play through all the Resident Evils before 8. Guess what? I'm sold. I'm clicking on Resident Evil 5, like, because I want to see that game or I want to see that person play the game. Like, I've watched streamers and my friends play games I don't like, not only to support them, but because they're entertaining me. So I keep telling people, like, the conversation was like, they're not taking your views. I was like, are they walking a thin line of what's acceptable in TOS and what's not? Yes, but it's a loophole. Then this led into them taking screenshots of TOS and it's not being like, well, it says, attire acceptable. So if you're at the beach, wear a bikini. Or if you're in a pool, wear a bikini. So they're just, putting hot tubs. Now, the one point that was brought up that did, resonate with me that I did agree with was when they said, well, they're putting hot tubs inside their bedrooms or their apartments and houses, and I'm like, well, okay, that's a stretch. That's when you're just like kind of, okay, the hot tub's in your house and it's in a bedroom. And I was like, acceptable tower for the environment and the situation. But then they also brought up, well, they're like, some of them have like really tiny hot tubs where you can't even see the water and they're sitting on like a flotation device. And I'm like, okay, well, that, like, I'm sorry, I've never been in a hot tub and needed a flotation device. That's not the point of a hot tub. A pool, maybe, but a hot tub, no. I guess for me, the hot tub situation is more or less when it comes to a hot tub, from an athletic standpoint, because I was very into athletic programs in high school and this and that, You know, I use the whirlpool, jacuzzi, hot tubs for the reason that the medical reasons loosen up the muscles, really tense, help loosen up a bit, and just relax. Same with ice baths. I would take ice baths also. So my opinion on hot tubs, from a recreational standpoint, are different than people's. Like, yes, I see the appeal of relaxing, chilling in a hot tub on a nice, cool night when you live in New England. That is, that's primo relaxation. Especially if it's snowing out, you can see the snow come down like a little light flurry. It's 30, 40 degrees out, and you're just in a hot tub that's set to like 98 to 103 degrees. Perfect. But I will say they did, bring up some valid points. You know, being in a hot tub in your house or apartment while on a flotation device, and then asking for donations, bits, subs, and then you'll just change your bikini into another one. It's like, I'm sorry, but like, you know, usually you get in the hot tub like that's a waste of like bikinis and swimwear if you're gonna keep getting all these different pairs wet. Because let's face it, you can't just let them air dry. You gotta wash them at some point. They're gonna get mildewy and smell. So it's like that's laundry. That's a waste of water. And then the fact that a hot tub and a flotation device, like that's what got me when they said that was happening. They showed me a clip. I was like, okay, that's that thin line. Like if it's people outside with a hot tub, this and that, I get that. But then a day, this still doesn't affect me. I just wanted to like the reason why I'm talking about it is because they flat out said that like it they assumed it was one of the reasons I don't stream, and I was like, whoa. Okay, let me get into why I don't stream. And this is I'm done talking about the hot tub. So now this is me talking about why I don't stream. The reason why I don't stream is because of time. I'm back at work now, which is what I was hinting at when I was, getting to earlier. I'm back at work now full time. My podcast is always going to be my number one content creating focus. Now, the easy thing for me to do from a time and content creating standpoint is the YouTube, which is something I have neglected for so long. I was doing good for a while there, and when I lost my channel, which I've already gone over, it wasn't a ban, it was just a Google Plus issue with tying it to YouTube, and when that shut down, that messed with my channel, and I got it back at least. They were really cool and talking to and them fixing it for me. But from the standpoint of, not streaming, I don't the focus and the time, honestly. Because if I'm gonna go stream, maybe I stream 2-3 hours. Twice. I can fit that in my schedule, but I don't want to have to force that into my schedule. Like I was hinting at, if you gotta force yourself to do something, you're not gonna enjoy it. I enjoy making YouTube videos. I enjoy doing this podcast. That's where my focus is podcast, YouTube videos, and then that's it. If I'm gonna stream, I might stream here and there, special occasions, extra life, charity events, co-op streams with friends. But on that, I don't mind while I'm working on other things, hopping in my friend's stream, chatting with them. That's fine. If you want to stream 5, 6, 7 days a week, that's on you. Especially I have friends who do that, and I'll show up a few times. But for me, Twitch there's a void. I had a void at the time, and I couldn't find anything properly to fill it, and Twitch filled that void for content creating. And I'm thankful for people who donated bits, subs, and this and that. I haven't told everyone who was. They're like, hey, this is like this is part time. This is barely part time for me. So cancel your sub to me. Don't stay subscribed to me, because I'm not going to be on constantly, or if at all. So yeah, that's why. So it's not the hot tub stream meta or any of that stuff that caused me to stop being on Twitch. And I just wanted to get that out there publicly on the record, because if my own friend assumed it, I can only imagine what my other people, fans of the show, and other people in my circle think. So I'm like, no, guess what? That's not the reason why. Guess what? It doesn't even affect me. If I go on Twitch and I pull 4 to 5 average viewers, I'm going to be happy, because that's 4 to 5 people who took time out of their day to watch me. Okay, I'm not going to sit there and see it as, I would have had like If you honestly think that, like, if it wasn't for the hot tub stream, those 10 plus thousand people would have been in your stream, that's, I don't know what to tell you. That's not realistic thinking. Because if I was on Twitch right now streaming and I had, like I said, I had 4 or 5 viewers and someone was streaming in a hot tub with 28,000 viewers, I don't have the outlook that those 28,000 would have been in my stream. Look how good. Like, I spent all this money on this setup. Why is no one in here? It's like sometimes it's not the equipment. When I was on Mixer, I used Lightstream. I streamed from a Yoga Pro 2 directly from my Xbox using Lightstream for an overlay and the webcam that was on the Yoga, and I was pulling viewers. It's not your setup. It's you as a creator, how you present yourself as an on-screen personality. Some people want to create a character and be that character on screen. Some people just want to be themselves cranked up to 100. And then there's other people who are like me. What you see on camera, what you hear, that's how I am when the camera's off, when this mic is not recording. That's exactly how I am. I'm just a nerd who likes comics, toku stuff, video game. Like, that's it. That's me at the end of the day. There's depth to it, but like what you see from a content standpoint is what you get. But that's it. That's it for the topic. I thank you guys for checking out episode 76 of A Nerd Named Mark podcast. We're vastly approaching summertime and the 2-year anniversary of the show. I'm really excited. Obviously, the numbers of episodes don't line up with the 2-year because I took some breaks, but hey, we're still on track. We're about, I think 2 months from next week will be 2 years of doing the podcast, because it was at the first day of San Diego Comic-Con 2019 that I started the podcast. So I'm really excited to start that countdown to 2 years. So I thank you guys for watching. I thank you guys for listening. You can find A Nerd Named Mark podcast on all podcasting platforms. Go to anchor.fm/ANNM podcast, or type in Nerd Named Mark podcast in all podcasting platforms. You'll find it. It's on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, Google Play, Radio Public, iHeartRadio, and on YouTube. So once again, thank you for checking out episode 76 of A Nerd Named Mark podcast. My name is Mark, and I am a nerd. I don't know why I said it like that. That was weird. All right, we're just going to end it. Thank you for watching, and thank you for listening.